This is my 07 911 Turbo that I bought last year for $34,000. It's nearing completion, but there's still a long way to go. There were some issues with the paint that are minor and a couple other things that need to be painted, so the first step is to ship this thing back off to the paint shop. And before I can ship it off there, I have to take some things apart and basically prep it for them to do some paint work on it. Finish the paint work, I should say. And once that paint work is completed, technically it's completed now, I can start the final assembly of every single part of this car and start driving it. This has been a long journey and we're at the end. In the last video, I finished up the clutch replacement, which was, yes, a nightmare. So I'm gonna actually drive the car for the first time in this video with the brand new clutch. But before I do that, I need to do some stripping on the car and some prep for the bodywork and paint guys before I actually drive it to the body shop. Yes, I'm gonna drive it, not trailer it. All right, this is disassembled so they can paint in there, and the door itself is disassembled so they can paint behind it. Color M7X, yeah, that's not the color anymore. Make sure to bring my 11. If you know, you know. This is also the first time I'm going to drive it with the new clutch. This is a little nerve-wracking. It's like a 20-minute drive. Hope everything goes well. Well, let's see how this clutch feels actually moving the car. It feels great! Clutch feels fantastic, guys. You can tell the pedal is stiffer. I'm assuming just because it's a stiffer, well, brand new pressure plate. The old one was probably completely clapped out, but man, the clutch feels phenomenal. I'm really happy. Now, still gotta actually drive it on the road, but we're just getting it out of the garage. Super pleased. This car has no AC. It kind of sucks. But the clutch feels great. Well, we made it, guys. The clutch feels absolutely perfect. Made it here without anything blowing up or going wrong, so that's a win. All right, next time you see it, paint will be all done. car looks absolutely stunning. All the flaws are fixed in the paint. Unfortunately, they didn't have time to get to the front bumper or the spoiler yet, but those will be done very, very soon. In the meantime, I got to reassemble the car to drive it home. We have to lift it over the hinge. Let it, You know, the cameraman is supposed to be silent, capture all the other noises. Looks phenomenal. Just gotta get it home now. Driving back, all is good so far. This is a good time to break in the clutch some more too, as well. Just gonna need a few hundred miles of break-in without me beating with the car, which is gonna be hard because this car's pretty fast. Made it home, safe and sound. Ran great, actually. I mean, I did get a check engine light, but that's okay. Very excited to have this thing home. It's time to get to work, get this thing back together. All the paint flaws are fixed in the car. It looks phenomenal. They wet sanded and buffed the whole thing. I mean, it's really, really shining like glass now. Now it's just time to install everything. Looks like the bumper and the spoiler because those aren't painted yet, but they will be soon. And there are a ton of parts to install. Got the roof rails, the gas cap, the vents, the rear bumper, the front bumper, all the parts that go on the front and rear bumpers. I have brand new window trim, door seals, window seals, the list goes on and on. Yes, I know, I still need hood struts. Haven't gotten that far yet. A couple of bumper sensors here, some other miscellaneous things. Also need to hook up to the battery charger because it's almost dead. That isn't even everything. A lot of great looking freshly painted parts here to install, and that's not even all of them. I still have the front and rear bumpers, the rear trunk, the wing. I got my work cut out for me. Oh, I almost forgot. They also painted behind the headlights like I requested. So now it looks even more factory. Might as well get this thing up in the air too. Unfortunately, this tape did not fare well in the weather. Oh, that's going to be a pain to get off. Next up, the side vents. Easy enough. This is something I've been waiting to do for a long time because it's gonna really make the side of the car look less like a project and more like a completed 911 Turbo. Up next on the list, the fuel door, which is now painted front and back, and inside as well. Now, since I broke my old plastic hinge while removing it, I bought a brand new one, along with one for the 996 as well, because that one was cracked, which wasn't my fault, actually. But I do get a new stopper here, because that was missing. Yeah, everything's working perfectly, holds open, everything's lined up, it just isn't quite closing the whole way. Come back to that later. What's really cool is this car came with brand new OEM side moldings. I'm looking forward to getting these in, but at the same time I'm not, because you gotta rivet it. Now, stupid me, I probably should have done this before I just put all those door and window seals in there. This is really gonna make the car look complete. Nope, don't have the right size rivets. They were just too small. I'm certainly glad one of you guys commented about this, because I would have never thought some type of sealer gasket goes in there. I have these hinges to install. Yeah, might as well do that. Now the trunk is pretty decently aligned. I have these bolts tightened. Now I can put that header piece on there for the final time. Guess I gotta do this the old-fashioned way. And there we go. Now I can put these beautiful air ducts from Rennline back in. These things are the bee's knees. Other than the bumper and the wing, that pretty much wraps up the rear end. That's enough for tonight. It's almost midnight. This car looks so good. All right, we'll pick this up tomorrow. Next day, side quest. I need to remove the ECU from this car because Marcy's gonna tune this car as well. He just tuned the 996, it's running phenomenally. But this car has a previous tune on it, which I think is Cobb. There were Cobb stickers in the car, and the car is obviously tuned. But that makes tuning a little more difficult, and Marcy would actually like the ECU to be in front of him physically. Luckily, they're pretty easy to get to in this car. I just got to rip the sub out and some other stuff. Now, just got to ship this off to our boy Marsky. So I got a rivet kit from Amazon. This is an 800-piece kit, so should be all the rivets I need for a lifetime. And I even got black heads. It's holding. All right, let's get 8,000 more of these things in there.
This was going rather smoothly until I didn't keep enough pressure on the one rivet, which means it didn't actually hold itself in the hole. And then I had to dig it out of there without damaging the paint, without damaging the seal. And then in the process, I did it again. And then again. And then again.
Yes, there we got it. Now, of course, I pulled another one out. There we go. Now, we're making progress. One molding fully installed. That was extremely stressful. Let's get the trim installed. That way I can get at least somewhat of a sneak preview of what this looks like finished. I've been waiting to see this window trim on here for months. Oh, it's looking like a car! I know this side's not finished, but it really makes this side almost look finished. It's that little piece of black trim makes all the difference. Fortunately, I have to do it all again on the other side. Now, with any luck, I don't have to look at, use, or even think about rivets again for a long time.
The remnants of about 30 rivets are laying in the garage, which is annoying, but the window seals are done, thankfully. Now it's time to turn my attention to the rear bumper because, well, as you can see here, it's missing a lot of the parts last time I had it installed. I got sensors to install, trim, carbon fiber, a whole bunch of stuff. I had one exhaust cutout trim, but I didn't have the other one, so I had to buy it brand new, which was like $150 for a little piece of plastic. That one stung, but I got those two pieces installed off camera and then moved on to the rear parking sensors.
I think that just leaves one more piece on the rear bumper, and it's this Cypher Vehicle Design rear bumperette delete. You guys know I love my carbon fiber, so the more touches here and there, the better. Ooh, that's nice. I don't think I have the rear license plate bracket. We'll come back to that. I do have another cool mod for the 997 now that it's here. 70buy sent me another dash cam. The difference with this one is it is 4K. It has a really nice Sony sensor on it. It's gonna be really easy to install. And I even got the hardwire kit. So it can do some extra functions if you use the hardwire kit. If you don't want to, you can just use a cigarette lighter and a regular USB. It also comes with an additional camera if you'd like to place it at the rear. So first, I'm gonna find a good spot to put this on the windshield. Normally I like to place these in a spot where it has a good view, but doesn't obstruct me, you know, the driver. Make sure the window is very clean. Peel the backing off the mounting plate and stick it in its final resting place. Yeah, that's a really good spot. Pretty discreet, but it should be able to see everything that I want it to see. As for the wiring, what I did was I ran it along here inside the headliner, down the A-pillar, and into the fuse panel box here. So I've got power and key on power as well as ground, and that's all in here, completely hidden. And now I can operate the dash cam with all of its cool features. You can see with it plugged in, everything is working just as it should. And there it's got a real nice view of everything in front of the car. And here in the driver's seat, the cockpit, you still have good access to what you can see over here, but it's not blocking my vision in any way, shape, or form. Now, earlier in this video, you saw the great footage from this. If you saw the front end of the car while driving, that was dash cam footage from the 70 Mai.
And here's some additional footage at night. It's actually like pitch black outside, but the night vision on this thing is pretty darn good. It also has the date, time, and GPS location, and has a parking mode as well.
Huge thanks to 70 Mai for sponsoring another video with an awesome dash cam. If you want to get your own, check out the links below. I definitely just remembered something else I need. I gotta get the whole wiring harness in there. You know what, this wiring harness needs some work.
I decided to strip all the factory electrical tape, or whatever tape you want to call it, off of this harness because it looked really bad. It looked like this harness just sat in the desert sun for years straight.
This gives me an opportunity to try out cloth tape for the first time, which all you guys suggested. So thanks for that. You know, I'm doing all of this work, getting rid of all of this old whatever tape that was on the wiring and replacing it with nice new cloth tape, but is anyone even going to see it?
Literally everyone watching this video is going to see it. Idiot.
Solid point.
I did have to do some wiring as the rear backup camera that I have installed in this has its own LED light that needs to be wired in. Additionally, I added in the wire holding brackets that fell off the bumper, and those just get held in place with glue, or in this case JB Weld, because I think it's going to last longer than the factory glue.
While the JB Weld dries overnight, I do still have to remove the actual bumperettes. Yeah, they're still 100% here. So I got to drill them off. I'll probably pull the bumper off to drill those out. And then I can final mount the rear bumper. That's kind of crazy, guys. Thanks for sticking out this one. We'll see you in the next video. Hopefully the front bumper and the wing are painted. I can start driving this thing. Oh, I'll have to wait till I get the ECU back from Marski Tuning. That's for sure. Can't drive it without that.